your life?
Okay, so there's a very few things. Let me start from when the time that I met you. How about that? So it was
Yeah.
2023, right?
Hmm.
So at that time, I had already been about less than a month sober.
Hmm.
It was almost close to a month when we first met. Little did I know that I had already started a process.
Hmm.
And at that time, sobriety was my game.
Hmm.
Right, December 10th was the last time that I drank. And at the time that I met you, I was struggling with staying sober. Like it
Hmm.
was just one of the things. But the way Carl Jung came into my life was until July, after I had a spiritual awakening.
July of 2023.
Yeah, July 3rd, 2023. That was the most pivotal moment of my life. Okay.
Hmm.
And basically, uh, that event drove me into education, which drove me into the works, or drove me into knowledge and wisdom, which drove me into the works of Carl Jung, particularly the Red Book. And that was on November of 2023.
So this is something that you always have been interested in. You're an intellect. You've lived your life wanting to know the truth.
Mhm.
You've been driven into path of living
My
um,
primal
all
instincts.
your instincts.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so there's a part of you that's really driven, attracted to Carl Jung,
Yes.
and you talk about Carl Jung and you say that he explains your you're the fruit of his what he was talking about.
Yeah. All right.
Am I saying that correctly?
Um, close enough, very nearby. And what I want to kind of say like this is, I want it to be understood that I don't worship that man.
Hmm.
Okay, but that man, he was a great man, and what he gave us is a lens to be able to look at the world,
Hmm.
right? And in many ways, he's known for this beautiful quote: "You're not what happened to you; you
Hmm.
are what you choose to become." Think
Hmm.
about that for a little bit.
Hmm.
Imagine someone that has a certain giving childhood, and all of a sudden you're introduced to this perspective. You're not what happened to you; you are what you choose to become.
Hmm.
What the fuck does that mean? Because at this point in time, whether it be falling into the victim mentality,
Hmm.
right? Jung was one of the great mystics of our time that sometimes his works can be construed, but if you listen closely, he's basically telling you that what you need will always come from yourself. So
Hmm.
he gave me that inner strength, or not gave it to me. He showed me that, look, eventually you're gonna have to find that within yourself,
Yeah.
and that was my motive.
So the way that you speak about Carl Jung as well is you'll find that within yourself.
Yes,
This is something that you already had within yourself.
yes, and I think we all do. And I need to explain a few things. I had a spiritual awakening, also known as a rebirth experience, on July 3rd, that really changed my life dramatically, and it was real. And during this time, during that event, I experienced catharsis, severe catharsis, crying.
What do you mean by catharsis?
Catharsis is the definition where you fall into, let's say, your own dark night of the soul, and you're
Mhm.
crying, you're facing you and your own personal demons.
Mhm.
But for me, that was at 1:30 p.m.
That's the
Okay,
exact time.
yeah, I know exactly time that I woke up.
Hmm.
Right, and after that experience, I was dialoguing with something.
Hmm.
And this later, Jung gave me the language to be able to describe, but let me explain it to you in the way that I experienced it. I came across, I had a mirror in me. I had an experience where I was listening to a mantra called Om Namah Shivaya,
Mm.
which is a Hindu, it's an initiation mantra for initiates, and I'll explain what that means in a little bit. And for about 2.5 to 3 hours, I was crying from my soul. I didn't know how to explain it to you. And after that experience, I looked at that mirror. Something rose from my stomach.